Hi, one and all. Mike, Mike's hat. Frank's fiddle. Frankie boy. The hat. We're in the towards the end of the third week of April, which means the fourth week of the corona stuff, which means 5 weeks since I should have got my hair cut. So the hat is not only a fiddle hat, it's hiding this mop that's laying flat on my head. I was thinking yesterday, actually the other day, the weekend, I was laughing because when I was a kid, my granddad, my mum's dad, when my hair was getting a bit long, he'd say, "Michael, are you trying to be a bloody violinist?" And now I am one. Who knew? Granddad, you're a soothsayer. Anyway, I did this yesterday, and we're back to this video, we're back to this camera again, because I used that bloody thing yesterday. And I did this video, this one that I'm going to do now, although this will be a shorter version of it. I was really happy with it. Went to upload it, and it was not having it. I thought, well, okay, I'll take this to work and do it at work. Couldn't put it on a pen, couldn't send it by WeTransfer, and after about 40 minutes, 35 minutes, it's still on 1%. So I thought, oh, sod this, I'm not bothered with this anymore. I've obviously not got the camera set up correctly. So I went to cancel it, and it said there were 3 months left on the upload. 3 months! Jesus. So whatever the settings are on that camera, I've lost it. Anyway, what's this about? Well, it's been a while since I've talked to myself. So quick update, and for me to look back on. A couple of things I want to go through, then I just want to do a little bit of fiddling, just so I've got some fiddling down on here. Been struggling a little bit with, not with motivation. I keep saying motivation. It's not motivation, and it's not disillusion. I accept where I am. A couple of people have said to me, "Oh, you're trying to be too, you're trying to think too far ahead," and I'm really not. But I do see things. I do watch people fiddling, and I think, even people who have been fiddling. I'm on a couple of Facebook groups for fiddlers, new green fiddlers and Facebook fiddlers or something like that. And I watch people, and I uploaded one the other day. I uploaded my version of Ashokan's Farewell, and it was all right actually. But you see all these people uploading the stuff on there, and they say, "I'm just trying this one out," and they're so much better than me. Even people who say they aren't that good. And I can see what they mean. I mean, I'm not trying to be critical, but they're so much better than I am. And I keep looking at them thinking, oh my God. And then I keep thinking, it's 3 months, man, 3.5 months. How good are you supposed to be? And I think what it is, I've boiled it down to this. In fact, I had an email from Jason today. I think probably everybody from Fiddle got one, but he sent me an email asking me how I was doing, and so it gave me a chance to reply, and I don't know if he reads the replies, but it gave me a chance to write it down, how I was feeling. And he did a what he calls an office hours thing, which is great for me because he doesn't make 11 or 12 on Pacific Standard Time in the States, which means they're either 7 or 8 p.m. here, which is great for me because I get home from work, have something to eat, get changed, put my Miami t-shirt on. And I'm good to go, so I can sit there, I'm not rushing about, so it's perfect. And I like them, and I like this international audience that there is. I really feel like I'm part of a group, although we don't actually see each other play, unless you watch my garbage, of course. But it really is international. There's a few Brits on there, and there's obviously a lot of Americans. There's a Kiwi on there the other day, getting up at some stupid time in the morning to do it. Australians, a couple of Germans, there's a Belgian guy I think gets on there, and it's really fun to see everybody all together, and it's good to watch Jason actually doing some fiddling. But it's also good because I get to see a lot of the questions, obviously all the questions that other people are asking. A lot of them are similar to what I'm working on, I'm struggling with, not struggling with, but trying to get to grips with. One of the things is when you play in, and I'm going to do it in a minute, when you're playing like a double stop, and I'll show you, I'll do that in a second, how to just keep my finger on one string. And it doesn't matter what I do with my hand, I've got these big chunky finger ends. And I know how I'm dealing with it, and I'm not necessarily doing it right, but I'm interested that other people are struggling with the same thing, because you watch somebody do it, doing double stops and playing all these things, and you think, well, it's easy. And then I try and do it, and I can't get my fingers to go to not be on two strings. And there's another guy on this green fiddlers thing. I think he calls himself the New Fiddler. I don't know, I can't remember what his name is. But he was putting something on there saying, I've got some new strings, listen to my new strings. But I was listening to what he was playing, which was Oh Susanna, and I do Oh Susanna, I do it very basically. And his version was shit off. He got bloody double stops in there, and I thought, that sounds so much better, and why can't... And then I go back and say, no, just learn the basic, get a good sound on the basic, and then learn to do this double stop. So I've come to the conclusion that that's what I've got to do. I've really decided I've just got to learn, and I've also got, I'll come back to that in a second, I've also got this deadline, which is what I said to Jason in my reply to him today. I've got this deadline of October to do something for Frank, and I've got in my mind I want to do some fantastic piece of music for Frank and Mary, for both of them, in October, the end of October. So as I said before, I want to do 8, 9, 10 maybe pieces of music. So I've given myself this deadline, and I want to be great by this deadline. I want to be really good by this deadline. And I think I've got what really good means out of proportion. It doesn't mean really good as in doing 3 fantastic songs that's really difficult to play. It means doing a few songs that are really maybe quite simple, but doing them really well. So, I know, you'd think it would be easy to get to these conclusions, wouldn't you? But I'm finally coming round to that. And the other thing that I've started doing is every session that I have now, I have what I call the Mad 5. And I just do a load of crap. I do make a load of noise, play as loud as I can, arse about with my fingers, and just try and free things up and just get it out of my system. Really give it a good old, and I'm going to do that now. And sometimes I've played and I thought, hey, that sounded all right. That was a couple. And then, but a lot of the time, it just sounds rubbish. And if anybody's listening, to think, what the bloody hell is he doing? It's good for me because it gets the crap out. And the other thing that I've noticed, and I'm hoping it's going to work now, is, except for when I look at the screen, I lose it when I look at the screen if I'm doing a recording, I've really seemed to have sorted out this long bowing. And you know, before when I was saying about the bowing, it was coming round my body. It seems like I'm really getting to grips with it, and I don't know if it's because I've sort of adjusted my grip on the bow, or what it is, or whether I'm just concentrating more, or because I've been doing a lot of long bowing on the scales. But I'm really quite pleased now with how the bow is going. What I am frustrated with is I'm not getting the pressure on it on the bow, and so that's my challenge. One of my challenges at the minute is to maintain the pressure on the bow, because otherwise it just gets scratchy. It just makes this really just horrible sound as it's going across. And then I realise it's because the strings, the bowstring isn't resting on the violin strings properly, you know, getting into it to make a sound. And that's why I do this mad 5 minutes. Really get some fist in it and really make it bloody squeal. It doesn't squeal, it makes all sorts of noises, but it doesn't squeal. Anyway, the other thing I'm doing is I'm getting into slurring, and you'll see now one of the problems that I have with slurring, and one of the things I'm trying to get better. And slurring is when you play the individual notes on the scale, like that. Slurring is playing more than one note on the same bow, and I'm getting quite good at that, but slowly. And then what I find is when I do it, when I speed up a little bit, even these two fingers here come off together. When I do it quickly, I can't seem to pick that one up and then that one up. They both come off together, as you'll probably see now. So this is what I'm working on, is this. See the deal. See, and that's what I do as well. I don't get to the end of the bow. So, slurring we're doing, and then double stops. And I'm going to have a go at Oh Susanna. I won't get it all the way through because I'll start laughing because it's funny. But also what I find is when I do the double stops, instead of playing, I bounce I bounce the bloody bow on the strings. It's crazy. So I'm going to do Oh Susanna, and I'm going to put some double stops in and just have some fun. And so this is where I am. And I'm much better than this. You know, when I'm playing properly, I'm much better than what you're about to hear. But this is me just having a bit of fun and putting some double stops in just you know, for the hell of it. So it's Oh Susanna, and I play it like this. That's how I've been playing it. This guy, the Green Fiddler, is doing this sort of business, and this is double stopping. This is a double stop, right? Two strings together. See how I'm bouncing the thing? See what I mean? That's the kind of thing. And the other thing when I slur is I speed it up. It gets speeded up. So there's the things that I'm working on. 3.5 months in, I know it's not much fiddling, it didn't sound very good, and I'm okay with that. And then, as I say, the last thing I do is I have this mad 5 minutes where I do this sort of shit. I do the pentatonic scale. I mean, I don't do it as bad as that normally, but that's just the sort of idea of what I'm trying to do, just to get some aggression into it and get my fingers moving and try and I'm falling by accident into getting the hands, look at me doing this, getting the hands working together, and it's working, getting the knots out of my system. So 3.5 months in, second week of April, 5 weeks of coronavirus here. That's where we are. I'm going to put this on my site. Take care, everybody. Stay safe. Don't forget, well done, you first responders, you caretakers. Bloody good on you. Everybody stay safe. Don't matter what your beliefs are, whether you think it's all a hoax or not, just do play by the rules and let's get this over and done with. See ya.